Hey, everybody! We are live. It is Wednesday at 9 o'clock Eastern, and this is part 4 of our Kangen Water Local Lead Generation Masterclass. And I know it's the last one, so I know some of you guys are sad, but this one's going to be super good. We've got Scott on the line, who is probably the best I know at doing in-home demos, especially with Kangen water. He is a wizard. He's extremely entertaining and really good and effective at what he does. He closes like 1 out of 2 deals that he sits down with. By the way, are you guys on the line? Can you hear me? Hey, how are you guys both? Everything is working good and see you both right on. Cool. I don't even need to ask. Looks like we're all set to rock and roll. Everybody, I'm gonna buy a couple minutes. I know Scott's running to grab some water real quick, and we're gonna start here. Let me go share my screen. I think it's this one. Actually, I'm not sure which one. You guys see my PowerPoint now or no? I think it's screen 3. See my PowerPoint? My slides. You see that or no? Chat me. You see it?
Can I see your slides? Yeah. We are good, baby.
We are good. I love it. Okay, so this is it. Kangen Local Lead Generation, doing a proper sales demo, part 4 of 4. Here's what we've covered so far. In week 1, we covered building your funnel, okay? Doing that all in ClickFunnels, real simple. We even gave you a template. Week 2, we set up all your Facebook ads, okay? Mike Stanzik was on here doing that with you. Week 3, which was last week, Scott went over doing the setting the appointment on the phone. He actually gave you his script. And then week 4 is the in-home demo, which we're going to be covering right now. Okay, so that's what this week is about. Scott is on the line. He's roaring. He's ready to go. If you guys want to learn how you could close about 1 out of 2 people that you sit down with and show this demonstration to, if you'd like to see that, then you're going to want to pay attention here tonight, because Scott's going to go through everything, his entire presentation, what he says, what he does, the jokes that he tells, everything. So anyways, Scott, go ahead, take it away, and let's rock and roll, brother.
Okay. Well, I'm not giving away the jokes I tell. That's IP right there.
He's not giving away the jokes.
What's that?
He's not giving away the jokes tonight.
How do I share my screen on this?
You click share screen. Let me change the presenter to you. It should work.
Show my screen. Boom. Okay, can you guys see me?
Beautiful.
Alrighty, let's go to it then. So, wait, how do I make your screen smaller?
You want me to turn off my camera? I turned off my camera. I'll focus on you.
There we go. All right, so the objective of tonight, everybody, is I'm going to give you the exact PowerPoint of how I do the in-home sales. And I've been doing this for about since last January. And originally, actually, me, Adam, a really great sales trainer named Paul Sager, and Corey Munt, we actually created this. And so I've been tweaking it and experimenting with it and just doing things with it for the last, since January 2016. And pretty much, I want you to know, if you do this correctly, and it's very compelling. Like, pretty much everyone who sees Kangen water is sold. And as long as you have like a charming personality and you just really get down a few really simple things, it's not even in the technicalities. It's just about like a few really simple things I'm going to reveal to you guys. But as long as you get those things down, most everyone is sold. And the people who don't buy from me pretty much don't have the money or can't get access to credit. Pretty much everybody likes it, especially, since we're going to be internet marketing to these people now. Everyone who agrees to an appointment with you is pretty much sellable. I mean, only once or twice was someone like blatantly not interested since doing the online leads. So keep all that in mind and let's get to it. So I'm going to just talk to you tonight as if, I am doing a presentation for a potential new client of mine. And then I'm going to stop and talk about the important shit, obviously. Okay, so you walk into the house, you kick the dog, and you start building a rapport, right? That's number one. No, don't do that. But if they have a dog, that's great. So I'm not going to go over building rapport or anything like that. We're just at the kitchen table, and this is the first screen. So, hey, our company's a Magic, and I always start off by building. Can you see when I scroll to the different screens, Adam?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. So, okay, so I always start by building, all my clients like a health profile. So you know how we hear on the news, diet, exercise, nutrition, supplementation, like we're hounded with this, right? So let me start by asking you, Mr. Jones, how's your diet? And then they'll tell me, it's good, we eat healthy sometimes or never. Most people like really love health. Okay, great. Do you take any supplements? Yeah, omega-3, this, that, whatever. Like most people are like, yeah, that's my whole counter full of supplements. So they're really into that stuff too. Okay, great. Why do you take those? Oh, for my bone health, the vitamin D, this and that, or whatever. Okay, and then how is your exercise routine? 3 times a week, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So I'm getting them just to open up and tell me a little bit more about them. And in this process, it's really about finding out what is important to them. And when you find out what's important to them, that's how you can sell them. Okay. And so I say, right. So even if you're, eating the right way or taking these vitamins or, go to the gym 4 times a week, you're only taking care of about 30% of the equation because you, and how I'm talking to you is how I'm talking to the client. We, are 75% water. I mean, so if you're drinking bad water, even if you're doing the right supplements, diet, exercise, boom, we need to take care of the majority of what we are, which is water. So water is the number one most important component of the body. The second most important component of the body is actually electricity. So, our heartbeat, this is just, your heartbeat, that depends upon electricity. Even when you pick up and drink this water, it depends upon our body communicating through electrical signals. So any diminishment in the body's electricity is a real problem, right? Yeah, that makes sense. So let's start with your water, okay? Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to test your tap water. Now at this point, I go over to the sink. I let the tap run for about 30 seconds, or not 30 seconds. I'm sorry, 10 seconds, and I fill up 2 glasses of water. Oh, by the way, when I get in, you're building rapport. I'm setting up the Sprite, the different bottled waters, and the cups in front. I take the tea out. I take all my shit out, and they're like, "Oh shit's about to go down." Like it's exciting. So all that is out by the time I start the presentation. So anyway, here's where we do the chlorine test. So I have them I say, okay, can you stick your fingers in for about 30 seconds. And then I do this slide. So I say, okay, so your tap water, right? City water. The pipes underground are about 100 years old. And so they were old 50 years ago. And so there's rust, there's lead, there's iron in the pipes. And now people are like, oh my God, yeah. They'll start like telling you their pain points, right? So what the municipalities do is they put chlorine lye fluoride into the pipes to protect us from the lead, iron, arsenic. So not good. So you can remove your finger, Miss Jones. And so what I want you to do, these are OTO drops, the chlorine drops. I hand them the chlorine drops. And I say, okay, can you do 2 drops in each one? Or excuse me, sorry. Can you do 5 drops in each one? So they do 5 drops, and most of the time, sometimes there's no color change, which means the water is not really chlorinated. And most of the time, what will happen is the one without their finger will turn bright yellow, and the one without their finger is less yellow. And I say, okay, so what's going on here? Which one's darker? The darker one. Okay, why is this one lighter? I'm like, my finger, what was on my finger? I was like, well, your body actually absorbs the chlorine because your skin is an osmotic barrier. It's going to absorb the chlorine. That's just what happens. And at this point, if you set the stage right, if you're, friendly, if you're just a good salesperson, a good people's person, this is where a lot of people, you capture their attention. They're like, oh, fuck, this chlorine is in my skin. You fully have their attention now. You are in control. And 2 of the most important things is to always ask questions and always agree with the client, right? So, okay, now let's talk about bottled. So bottled is really bad because less than 20% of bottled water gets recycled. And I don't know, have you ever seen this on Google? Like if you Google Plastic Island or Great Garbage Patch, you'll actually see this on Google. And some people will do that right as I'm talking to them, like, oh, wow. So, that sucks. But don't worry, Mr. Client, because today we're going to talk about a solution called Kangen water, and that's what we're drinking right now. And by the way, in the beginning, I say you're part, and today, today's about you. You're part of the experiment. So I want you to try to drink 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 glasses of water while I'm here. So we're already drinking Kangen water at this point. So today we're going to talk about a solution called Kangen water. And so our company is Enagic, and Kangen is actually a Japanese word. It means return to origin or return to life. So I'm going to show you how these waters are dead waters and I will literally point or tap each bottle. These are dead waters, and how this is a living water that we're consuming and why it's better and why it makes sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a video. And this is a video. Kangen water was actually on the news. And this was a video in Southern Florida. So it's about a minute and a half. I always like to play it for you guys. So I click play. And by the way, I'm presenting this on my iPad mini with like a little stand. So it's, professional stands upright. So, I have a nice wheel-in bag that I carry everything in with. So you're going to want to consider investing in these things and investing in yourself and in your business. So I click play the video. And after I click to this slide. And I say, okay, so do you have any questions about the video? Most people are like, oh, okay. So now this is the most important part. And I should have made a separate slide to teach this. I will do it and Adam will email it to you. How about that? Okay. Here is where you do what's called the power intro. And this was taught to me by a really great sales trainer named Paul Saggart. So I said, okay, Mr. Client, I want to make you 3 promises about tonight. Number 1, tonight is about a paradigm shift. So it seems like you guys are already pretty health conscious or care about your water or whatever, but today's really about a paradigm shift to change what you know about water, and it really may shock you. So that's number 1. Number 2, and this is the most important part of my job, is this business is all done through referrals and network and word of mouth and sharing and Facebook, whatever. So as you're watching this presentation or demonstration, keep in mind people you think would see value in this. Because at the end of this, I'm going to ask you for like 500 of your closest best friends, and then you just smile like that, and then they'll laugh too. But you're serious. You're asking for 500 names. And then the third thing is just any feedback for me, because I'm always trying to get better. So I would much appreciate that. Okay. So, Mr. Client, at the end of this, I want you to tell me 1 or 2 things. Tell me, Scott, I like it, I love it, I need it, I can't live without it, or no. But please don't tell me I've got to think about it, because I'm going to give you enough information for you to be a Kangen water expert by the end of this. Okay? And then, okay? And cheers. Cheers. And so I literally do this. I literally cheers with them. And I used to literally repeat that again. I would say, so again, tell me, I like it, I love it, I need it, can't live without it, or no. But you're not going to tell me. And we kind of point to them, got to think about it. And then they kind of, okay, yeah. Cheers. Cheers. And so when I was first taught this, what has been taught to me is called the power intro, I thought, holy shit, that is really bold to say to people. But you know what? It fucking works. I've been in, not a lot, but I've been in situations where it's like, we agreed that we would kind of make a decision and they've bought, or they've, said no and just, it's no, we're not going to fuck with you. So it's definitely bold, right? But it works. And remember, selling is something you do for somebody. It's not something you do to somebody. The best thing anyone could ever do is buy a Kangen machine. We all know that. So that is the power intro. And you might want to go back and rewatch this. But I will type up a document for you guys, and Adam's going to send that to you. So that's the power intro.
Like it, I need it. I can't live without it, baby.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna go through a lot tonight, guys. But I like it. I love it. I need it. I can't live without it, or no. But don't tell me. I got to think about it. Beautiful. So after we get that out of the way, who do you recognize from this slide? And then, everybody. Or some people like get really excited and they're pointing. Oh, I know this guy. Or zoom in, this guy. Whatever. So okay, boom. All right, great. So all these people are drinking Kangen water. They recognize the importance of taking care of your 70%. Luckily, you don't need to be a millionaire or a celebrity to get this. So let's pump the brakes a little bit and talk about how this all began. You probably heard of holy water, healing water, fountain of youth before, right? Oh, yeah. Well, there's these several locations around the world where people flock to get water, and they live to be very old and they're very healthy, and they claim that it's the water. And so when scientists did experiments on this water, they found that it was very alkaline and that it had an abundance of active hydrogen. Okay, so you may have heard of like Lourdes in France or Zamzam Mecca, or different places. These are some of those common, especially Lourdes in France, areas in the world where water is said to have these healing properties. And then they'll be like, oh, okay, you can kind of go through these pretty quickly if they're a little unengaged here, but you want to build the value. Okay, and then I say, so there's four ways where this water, or four ways how this water occurs naturally. So number one is from a natural spring, like on the left right here. Number two is when an iceberg melts, which you can't really capture. Three is when a glacier melts, which is like, this is all runoff from the mountains and they're drilling these piping systems into the mountains. And then number four is when lightning hits water and water gets disassociated, right? So along comes a Nagic, and they're like, we don't want you going to France or getting struck by lightning, so we're going to deliver this technology in home. Boom. So what you need to know about our company is we've been around since 1974. We're an OEM. Now, do you know what an OEM is? Yeah. OEM means original equipment manufacturer. So you're buying from a manufacturer, meaning you can get your machine serviced right here at the New York office. We make all our own parts. There's a master technician per machine. You are paying for quality, a real product from a real manufacturer. And I have a binder too with my order forms and some other shit in it. And in the binder, I have the WQA seal that comes with your Enagic machine that they give you. And I also printed out some of the certifications from the Enagic website that Adam will send to you. I'm putting you to work, baby. And so I show them all that, but like super briefly. So, here's the gold seal by WQA. And then we have this sheet of paper says that we're allowed to mark it as a medical device. It's a Japanese medical device. And then these are different ISO awards. And ISO is different awards for like factory standards. And that is the extent of that. It literally takes 10 seconds. Don't take any longer on it. And so, yeah, and again, it's a medical device and doctors around Japan use these, right? So let me show you the different products. So we've got the K8 and the SD501s. The SD501 units are exactly the same. The K8 has 8 ionization plates, and we'll talk about what that means. And the SD501 has 7. The K8 is going to make a stronger antioxidative water, so it has a little bit higher amperage. SD501 a little bit less, so the ORP is less. That's the antioxidants. We'll talk about that. The K8 and the SD501, they each have an automatic cleaning system. The K8 is touch screen. Other two are buttons. K8, 8 languages. Platinum, 5 languages. English, so whichever language you want. They each have a 5-year manufacturer's warranty, which is super important. Again, you're protected with good shit here. Then we have the Anespa, which is our shower unit. It's going to get rid of all your chlorine, and I'll point to your chlorine. And if there is chlorine, it continues to darken as you sit there. I'm like, yeah, look how freaking bad this is getting. So the Anespa is great. It has these special stones from Japan, makes your skin really soft. And then we have Ukan, which is an organic Japanese turmeric. Ukan is Japanese for turmeric. So that's as quick as I go with those slides. So let's talk about how this actually works, and then we're going to get into the good stuff, the testing. So first, and I'm pointing with my mouse and my finger. First, it's going through a filter. It's filtering down to 5 microns, so it's getting rid of chlorine, taste, smell, lead, nitrites, ammonia. It's getting rid of all your shit. Then it's plugged in, so there's these 7 or 8 platinum-dipped titanium plates. And what happens is the water is passing over the plates, and when it does that, it becomes ionized or it becomes disassociated. So what we're doing is we're taking water, H2O, and we're breaking off one of the hydrogen. So now we have OH minus and H plus. And so out the top hose becomes negatively charged alkaline ionized water, and out the bottom hose comes acidic water. Really good for cleaning properties, which I'm going to show you. So, all right, boom. Let's get into the good shit. Well, I won't say shit, but okay, let's get to the good stuff. So I'm gonna show you 3 main properties today. Actually, I'm gonna show you 4. So number 1, the water is antioxidative. Number 2, it's microclustered. Number 3, it's alkaline, and number 4, it's actually detoxifying. I'm gonna show you that. So, what's an antioxidant? And they'll look at each other. I don't know, I've heard of this. And some people know. Some people you sit down with will be really sophisticated, which is always good. So oxidation is the rusting process. On the right, that is rusting, aging, sickness. So on the left would be antioxidation. So the way antioxidant works, and I'll scroll over to like that, is we have free radicals in our body, waste product, positively charged cells. By the way, you got to know your shit. You got to know your science a little bit, people. For you to really convictedly sell this, you really got to know your shit, and it is compelling. And I think that's why we're all here, because we care about this type of stuff. And some people will ask you sophisticated scientific questions, and sometimes I won't know. But if you know your shit, it's going to serve you very well. So know your shit. So free radicals positively charged, and antioxidant is negatively charged, so it's antioxidizing. It's reducing oxidation. Free radicals cause oxidation. So the antioxidant is able to act as an electron donor, right? So we're going to actually measure whether these liquids are oxidizing or whether they're antioxidizing. So I have my ORP meter. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this meter. This is an ORP meter, and ORP stands for oxidation reduction potential. So it's measuring whether the liquid is able to reduce, whether it's oxidizing or whether it's antioxidizing. So anything that's positive is taking electrical charge away from the body, and anything that's negative is giving electrical charge to the body. So let's do it. So I'll take my ORP meter. I'll always start with I'll normally set it up like soda be next to Kangen water on the end. That way it's like a drastic jump when you do the ORP meter and the other stuff. So I'll, go boom, 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 hold up the meter, positive this, positive that. Okay, so it's oxidizing, positive, oxidizing. Poland Spring, oh my God, it's Poland Spring's bad. Yep, it's oxidated. Boom, boom, boom. Go to Kangen water. I'll be like, watch closely, boom, and it'll go, lower, and then it'll go negative. And I'll say, okay, so this is the most important property, because what this reading is showing is that there's electrons in the water, and it's acting as an antioxidant, and it's life-giving. It's giving the body charge, whereas everything else is positive. It's taking charge away. So even though this is the lamest test, this is actually the most significant reason of why Kangen water works. So we talked about that. Okay, we kind of talked about this too. The human body has to have enough voltage to work, and when you lose electrical charge, you're more prone to sickness, disease, etc. So that's literally what I do with that slide. Okay, now do you like blueberries? Yeah, I love blueberries. Great, because it would take 5 pounds of blueberries to equal 2 8-ounce glasses of Kangen water. Cheers. I said, so what would you rather do? Eat 5 pounds of blueberries or drink 2 glasses? And drink 2 glasses. I'll be like, have your drinks and have your cake and eat it too. Whatever.
Wait, hold on, Scott. Can you guys see Scott's screen? Because I just saw Amanda message and she said that she couldn't see Scott's screen. You guys tell me you're seeing Scott's screen. I'm seeing Scott's screen. Are you guys? Chat us. Okay. Yep. Okay. Amanda, I don't know why you can't. No, but everybody else seems to be able to see it, Scott. So just continue forward here.
Okay. Wait, how many people do we have on here?
There's 850.
Okay. Guys, if you have questions, type in the box, and we can make this interactive too. So yeah. So if you have questions, just type in the box and add them. Just let me know. Okay. So, and by the way, what I've been saying lately, just to set the expectation, when I do the power intro, I will say, today's about a paradigm shift, and you're gonna learn that over the next 25 minutes or 20 minutes. I normally say 25, and that way you're setting a time expectation too, and people really respect that. Because on the phone you're telling them 30, 40 minutes. Realistically, if you're selling someone, the longest time I was ever in someone's house was like 3.5 hours, and they bought. But we were kind of just hanging out, but it was kind of like a huge process at the end, closing them. So yeah, be aware of that. I say that sometimes out of respect for the client. Okay, so the second property is we're going to talk about pH, and I have these pH cards that I bought from Lily Tyson, or I can look to have these duplicated. We could talk about it. But if you go to alkalinenationusa.com, you can buy them. And I hand the husband and wife the card, and this is what the front is like, and this is the back. And so on the back it has a list of, this is upside down. On the back it has a list of foods, and I'll hand it to them. I'll say, okay, what are you guys eating on a regular basis from this list? And this is leave behind too for the person. What are you guys eating on a regular basis on this list, and they'll go through it and they'll tell me, and oh, I like this food, or we cook that or this, and again, more fact finding. And you're always getting everything I'm saying to ask them. You're always getting them to say yes, and you're always agreeing with them, which is really important. Oh, I eat this food. Oh my God, soda's bad, or oh my God, chicken's bad. And I'll even say, I'm like, look, obviously, I'm never gonna stop eating chicken or having a beer or two. But it's just to show you that it's acidic, right? And so the body is in a constant state of producing acidic waste. Like when we metabolize our food, that's called pyruvate acid. Cortisol, stress, very bad for the body. Lactic acid when we work out. So we're always in a state of acidic buildup, free radical, and we want to flush that away, right? And yeah, of course. So what do they say to do? They say, well, drink a lot of water. So let's see what's helping us and what's hurting us. So I will give my pH. So I'll say, okay, Christine, or okay, Jim, what you're going to do, and I'll hand them the pH dropper. The reason this demo is so powerful, by the way, is because you hit on all 5 senses. I'm going to show you how to do that. I hand them the dropper, and I say, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to start do 4 drops or 5 drops in each one, depending on how much liquid's in the cup. And I always have them start on this end. So start away from Kangen, so they get that dramatic purple change last. So I'll do it, and then we'll talk about it. Wow, they'll start talking, and I'll say, okay, isn't this crazy? Like, let's take a look at this. So, I'll bring the glass and put it, okay, so Dasani's a 5. Now, by the way, Mr. Client, the pH scale is a logarithmic scale, which means it's magnitudes of 10. So like from 7 to 8 is 10 times more alkaline. From 7 to 6 is 10 times more acidic. And from 7 to 5 is 100 times more acidic than neutral. So look at Aquafina. It's a bright yellow. It's 100 times more acidic than what we want it to be. And the craziest thing is, like, we're not even being made aware that these bottled waters that we're marketed to all the time are oxidative and they're acidic. Like, they don't even give us the courtesy of bringing that to our awareness. So that's what we're doing right now. So we'll go to that, and then boom, look at Kangen water. Oh, wow. Yeah, so let me show you what happens when we start to drink Kangen water. So what I'll do then is, from my jug, I will pour the Kangen water in, the cups, and you guys have seen the demo, and, it'll change purple. Oops, did this just pop up? What the? Okay, sorry, something just popped up on my screen. What the fuck? God damn it. Okay, sorry about that. You with me? We here?
We seem to be experiencing momentarily some technical difficulties. We'll be back with you.
No, we're back. We're good, right? We're good? Okay, great.
Yeah,
you can see my screen? Okay, so the Kangen water changes to purple, and then except for soda. Soda doesn't change. Or if you have Perrier, buy Perrier, because with Perrier, it'll change blue and then it'll go back to yellow. You're like, whoa. I'm like, yeah, look at it. Boom. So that's like really, really compelling. This is where they're being sold. They're sold at this point. They want to buy it. So use Perrier. And then what happens is I take either Perrier or soda, which is now diluted Perrier or soda, and say, okay, let's go the opposite. Because we just changed your acidic Dasani, Aquafina, Poland Spring environment to an alkaline environment just by drinking Kangen water. Let's see what happens when we drink diluted soda. Boom, boom, boom. Just a sip in each one, and boom, it turns yellow. So look, you just ruined all that by diluted soda. That's how bad this shit is. And again, I don't say shit. Okay, so let's dive a little bit more into this. That'll take you about 5 minutes. They might ask questions. They're really engaged. They're talking to you. So doing the actual test may take five, maybe more minutes. So let's dive a little bit more into this, Mr. Client. Okay, I'm not a doctor, but I do, I did study this at school, exercise physiology, and, I got one of these for myself. And because I knew the science and I was interested, and then I started, working for the company and doing this. And I will include that because I feel like it's important to relate to people. So however you can sneak your little story in, it's not important. It's just important to be relatable. So I'm not a doctor, but I did study this at school, and the body needs to be in homeostasis. And when it's too acidic, it's out of whack. And when we get too acidic, we get sick. Now, for example, cancer is the #1 oxidative disease in the country, and type 2 diabetes is the #1 acidic disease in the country. So do you know anybody with any of these things? Yeah, it sucks, right? So this is Dr. Otto Warburg. He won the Nobel Peace Prize of Physiology in 1931 1931, they were onto this stuff. He discovered that cancer cells are anaerobic, which means without oxygen, and that they thrive in an acidic, oxygen-deficient environment, right? So I can't make health claims. I can show you clinical studies and testimonials, but I can't make health claims. What I can say is, hey, wouldn't it make sense to go alkaline? And I point to the yellow cups. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, so this is Dr. Shinya. He co-invented the colonoscopy, and he recommends his patients drink at least 3 liters of Kangen water a day, which is about this much. And I point to the jug, and it's about, it's almost all of it. So let me show you. We actually have a case study, Dr. Shinya. It's kind of nasty, but this is a 45-year-old breast cancer patient before, and this is 3 months after drinking Kangen water. And this is a 62-year-old lung cancer patient before, and this is 3 months after drinking Kangen water. So they're like, oh shit. I'm like, yeah, most disease starts in the colon. It's where we get backed up, and it's going to detox you, and it's literally going to flush you out. So, your first couple days when you're drinking Kangen water, you may notice that you go to the bathroom more often, or that you get headaches. And good, that's good. That means you're detoxing. You can always go to 8.5, 9.0, whatever. Okay, so the next property is how our water has a very low surface tension. That was really, really absorbable into the body. It's called microcluster, right? And so regular water, remember how I told you this was dead water in the beginning? Yeah. So water is a polar molecule, which means it has a positive charge and then a negative charge end. And regular water that's just sitting underground in the pipes or in the bottle, it's lost its electrical charge. It's all stuck together like what you see here. And so here's what ionization is, right? Picture you have dirt in your hair and you take a shower and you get the dirt out. That's like filtering. Filtering is great. You need to filter. Picture ionizing as you take a balloon and your hair is dry now and you rub it on your hair. What's going to happen? Your hair is going to stick up. Static electricity, right? And so what happens is now that these molecules have an electrical charge, they, instead of it being one big clump of 15 to 26 H2Os, it's now many little clumps of 5 or 6 H2Os. And so the reason this is important is because it's better able to get into our body's cells. We have what's called aquaporins in our cells, and that's what lets water and nutrients in and waste out. And so water in this small microclustered form is way more absorbable at the cellular level, okay? So at this point, I'm like, so that's the boring explanation, but let me show you how this actually works. So what I'll do is, we're going to make tea. Pull out the tea bag, take it out of the bag. What do you normally make use for tea? Tap, bottle, okay, so I'll pour that. 4 cups, pour that, empty cup, pour that, empty cup. And then I say, okay, so let's make tea. You have to heat the tea, right? Yeah. Why? And some people get, because it needs to be like this. Very good. So let's see what happens with Kangen water. Put the tea bag in, pour the Kangen water in, makes the tea. Oh my God, do a few dunks, really get it. And then I say to people, this actually happened to me in one of my first demos. The lady said, hey, you cheated. The tea bag was already wet. So I literally say in every demo, like, when I first started, I did 2 cups, but some lady accused me that I was cheating. So don't let me get away with anything today, okay? So I'll say that. See, I am giving you my jokes. Fuck. Okay, just kidding. So I'll say, now, don't let me get away with anything. Put it in the second cup, or the second cup, pour the Kangen water in, it'll make tea. Or wait, I go from bottled water to Kangen to bottled water to Kangen, or tap Kangen, tap Kangen. You get it. So you do the tea bag test, you wow them, and then say, hey, do you guys like to cook? Yeah. Okay, this is really, really great for cooking. Your pasta is going to taste better. Your rice is going to taste better. Water boils at 207, not 212. The only reason I know that is because I had some mad scientist client, and he fucking tested it. And good for him. Now I know. Now I say it. So yeah, this is showing that it's super absorbable to the body, and we're actually getting hydrated. And if you remember in the beginning, I asked you, like, drink 3, 4, 5, 10 glasses of this water. See, this is why everything you say is important. And the reason I ask you to do that is because you could drink this water all day long. You're never going to get full and bloated and sloshy. Do you ever get full and bloated and sloshy? Yeah. Well, yeah, it's because you're drinking water in this structure, not in this structure. Oh my God, wow. Okay, so let's talk about some of the other uses for this water. Do you guys eat or buy organic? And They'll say yes or no, and I'll say, okay, great. Well, we're going to clean these tomatoes. So I bring tomatoes, oil on every demo. You want to get them sold, you gotta show up. So, and one thing of tomatoes lasts me 2 demos, and the thing of tomatoes is $3.99 from the supermarket. So I go and get the tomatoes, and I do 6 cups. I do tomato, oil, blank. And so one row is my 11.5, and one row is tap water or bottled water, whatever they use to clean their veggies. And so I pour that in, or I do the tomatoes. It's like, okay. And I have whiskey here, and I uncap it, dark sesame oil. I put it to their nose. Just kidding, it's sesame oil. And so then I put sesame oil in, and then pour the regular water, pour the 11.5. So this is the 11.5, black container. We keep it in a black bottle because heat, light, and movement affect the properties of this water. So this is very, very, very alkaline. It's off the charts. It's off the charts. Point to this chart. So pour that in. Then I say, what happens when you mix oil and water? Most people should know this. Oh, they don't mix. Boom, they don't mix. The water, the oil flows. What happens with 11.5? Boom, it mixes. Holy fuck! So when they see that, they're like, what's going on? And so I'm like, well, let's check on our tomatoes. Pour the tomatoes, clear water in the tap, and then do the 11.5 tomatoes, and boom, it's yellow. Now the tomatoes will vary based on how contaminated the pesticides are and how strong your 11.5 is. So make sure you make the 11.5, turn the machine on, let it run for like a few seconds, and then run it really slow. So it'll vary, but it'll always be yellow. And I'll say, okay, I want you to try to figure out what's happening here based on these 6 cups and this slide. And I'll pause, and I'll let them try to figure it out. And I'll say, okay, so what's happening is the tomatoes are sprayed with pesticides, and pesticides are oil-based or petroleum-based. So if you see here, oil and water don't mix, they float. So we have nothing out of this cup. But because the 11.5 is a very, very, very microcluster, it's very alkaline, it's able to actually emulsify and strip off the oil, point to the emulsified oil cups, to actually able to break down the oil off the tomato skin. And so that's why we see this color change, because this is pesticides. We're fucking drinking pesticides. I'd say fuck. Let's do a taste test. And some people don't eat tomatoes, and I tell people I don't eat tomatoes. I don't like tomatoes. But they'll do a taste test, and most of the time, I would say 70% of the time, people are like, oh my God, I can really taste the difference, or I really notice the difference. Some people don't. That's okay, and everyone's different. It's going to affect different people differently. So, there's tons of, go on PubMed.gov. There's 150 different clinical studies on Kangen water, and here's some books written on Kangen water. So, removing acidic waste is more effective than diet and exercise, Dr. Sang Wang, and all disease comes from the same root cause: too much acidity. And that's how I say that. All right, so let's review. I always start this slide with, all right, let's review, because that means it's like, yes, it's almost over, and I get to buy this thing. So let's review. So it's going to make 5 types of water. 8.5, 9.0, 9.5. Start at 8.5, if you're unhealthy and fat. Start at 9.5 if you're the man. It's going to make clean water. That's just filtered water. That's for fish tanks, taking medication, and baby formula. And if they ask about any of those, I'll explain it. Alkaline ionized water will actually drown fish. Fun fact that I learned, because it's micro, whatever. It's magic water. Then I'll make the 11.5, which I just showed you, and I'll make the 2.5. So 11.5 is a very good emulsifier and cleaner in the kitchen, and the 2.5 is a disinfectant. So I actually have a clinical study, and I do have the ATS Labs clinical study, how it kills MRSA, Salmonella, E. coli faster than bleach. I printed it out. I laminated the important parts, which is, it's very simply like the picture. I'll have it with me. 99.9% dead, 30-second exposure time. And I'll hand that to them like, yeah, look at this. Crazy. So again, it's approved as a medical device. It has 8 platinum dipped plates. It has a universal transformer. I don't really say that. And it's going to last you 25 to 40 years. Now, let me ask you, Mr. Jones, what in your kitchen is going to last you 25 to 40 years? Nothing. Nothing. Well, listen, if you take care of this, you got to take care of it, and I'll help you come do your monthly cleaning, your first one. I'll show you how to do that. And I do like to go to those, not to waste my time, but to collect referrals. And you really end up building a relationship with your clients. And well, that's what I'm doing, at least. And so, for example, great example, I went and did the monthly cleaning for a woman the other day. and she gave me 4 referrals. One of them I met with, and this woman, they should convert. They have to get pre-filtration because they have really hard water. She lives in a really rich area in New Jersey, Franklin Lakes, and I'm like in a really good, like, rich MILF mom, spend money on my husband's credit card network. And that would have never happened if I didn't invest the time to go back and help them with their monthly cleaning. So invest time with your clients, because you treat them well, and they're going to treat you well. So yeah, 25 to 40 years. So let's take a look at what these look like. Oh, wait. Oh, here's where I say the 2.5. So it's going to kill MRSA, Salmonella, E. coli faster than bleach. You use a neti pot, strep throat. If you ever have like a little cut, paper cut, you could spray it on. It'll stop the bleeding. Not if you're like gushing blood, but this has actually happened to me where I have like a little scrape or cut and use it for that. And eye infections. And again, boom, then I say the clinical study thing. So here's what they look like. Here's a K8. Here's my K8. This is installed. This is called a diverter. So I'll divert right like that. Bathroom install. Most people get them in their kitchens. So this is a client of mine in West Caldwell. And, and that's just, I'm giving them social proof. So you could say something like that with your clients. They use what's called ion faucet. And so this is a separate faucet off the cold water line under the sink. And so we, offer a bunch of custom install jobs for you guys. This is an SD501. This is my client in Wayne. And this is just the regular diverter. So you could do that too. That's a little bit of an older sink. And this one's really sharp. This is the under the counter unit. This is my client in Ocean County. So here's another install, SD501 Platinum under the sink, regular. Okay. So now this is the last slide before you get into the close. And basically what I say is, okay, so you're spending money on this shit every month, right? You bottled water, the 409, the veggie cleaner, the Windex, the hand wash. Kangen water is an investment in your health, but you're never going to have to spend money on any of these things again. It's the best thing. It's the best use of your money, really. Yeah. So I'll say something like, certainly this is an investment in your health, but you're going to eliminate all of these costs. So we offer packages and individuals. I'll just show you everything that we got, and we'll go from there. So the first thing is the complete package, which is a K8, an Anespa, a Level Luck R, which is our travel unit, and an Ukon. This is a 4-month supply of the organic turmeric. And now they're able to offer you member pricing, which is going away, unfortunately, so I have to change the slideshow. But they offer you member pricing on the Anespa and the Ukon if you're a member, and you're a member if you own any machine. So then they have the family package, which is a K8, an Anespa, and an Ukon. And again, they discount these member pricing for you guys, so only $73 a month finance. And then a basic pack, which is an SD501 and an Ukon. Oh, hold on, shit, someone's trying to FaceTime. Sorry about that. And an Ukon. Or, of course, you could always just start with a package, or always just start with a unit. So the K8 is $49.80, the Platinum is $42.80, and the SD501 is $39.80. And so kind of like, are you freaking out about price? Are you non-reactive? Like, what's going on? You got to be smart. You got to kind of see what's happening right now. But I'll say now there's a lot of ways that people go about paying for these things. Some people just buy it cash, put on a debit card, credit, or some people write a check. Some people, if they have room on a current credit card, they do that. Or we have different finance options, and they'll kind of start asking like, oh, what's this? So here's how I do this, because a lot of people kind of are very sketchy with the credit card thing, and I don't want to fly like that. So I am super transparent, and here's exactly how I explain it. So what we did is we partnered with Citibank and Capital One. So it's a new line of credit, new credit card, and for example, Citibank, it's a 21-month 0% APR, no interest financing, right? And so 54, 46, 44, those numbers are the minimum payments. Or if you take the price and divide it by 21 months, it would be $237 a month for the K8, $203 a month for the Platinum, or $198 a month for the SD501 for 21 months. So that's that. So that's if you do the credit card and you pay it equal payments over the 21 months. Okay. And now I'll kind of and now I'll say, I'll kind of feel them out if they're not like jumping all over something, which some people will, and some people will kind of just, just be like, okay, shit's getting real. So if they're not giving me much of a reaction, I'll go to and say, oh, here's the under the sink unit, and here I kind of just skip past this because I don't even want them to see this option. But if I will always try to leave with something. So if all they can afford is a junior, I'm selling them a junior. Cost of drinking. Okay, so let me just show you kind of how this works out with the numbers. And I'm going to send you guys, or Adam's going to send you guys this PowerPoint. So your water machine is $4,000 one time, and then you're paying for your water bill. So for 15 years, it's going to cost you about $6,200. Now Aquafina, let's just use Aquafina because it's the cheapest, and let's assume you're buying the cheapest. Aquafina is $4.99 for a 6-pack, or excuse me, for a 24-pack, which equates to $1.59 a gallon, which is $1,100 over a year times 15 years. That's 17 grand on water. So you're gonna be spending the money anyway. And not everyone does buy bottled water, and if they don't, I wouldn't recommend doing this slide. So look, you're spending the money anyway. Obviously with Kangen, you're making an unlimited supply of this healing water, and you get all the different types of cleaning waters. And what puts a lot of people at ease is our customer rebate program. And also you can write this off. So number one, this is a tax write-off. The reason it's a tax write-off is because of our rebate referral program. So how our referral program works is, I want you to put me to work for you. And this is what I say to people, and I'm dead ass. And some people do this very well, and some people don't. I want you to put me to work for you. Meaning, if you refer your friends, your family, whoever, and I go do a demo and they buy, I'll put the order through you and you'll get paid on it. And so you fill out a 1099. I just put a different check on the order, and basically you're now qualified to earn rebate checks because that's how you filled out the order. So on your first 2, you'll get $340 per rebate check, and on your next 8, you'll get $680 per rebate check. On a K8, on an SD501, 285, and 570. And now I'll tell it to them like that because I don't want to sell them into the business, but I want to put them at ease for this purchase. And you'll find people who will want to sell them. You will. I have a lady coming on board who wants to buy 2 and a shower unit for each home, and she wants to sell them. And I found her through the internet marketing. So that's the last slide. So then I'll go back here and I'll say, okay, so what do you think is best for you? Like a package? And I'll be flipping through this with my finger. Like a package or an individual? And I'll always just sit on an individual. Or I'll say, and then when we're on the screen, they'll like, oh, well, what's the difference? Very common question. Then you could scroll back to the, earlier slide with the dip. So basically, this has higher amperage, 8th plate, upgraded power supply, a little bit better of a filter, touch screen. And then these have 7 plates, 2.5 amps, about a negative 600 ORP, where this is a negative 800 ORP. And some people will be confused about that. Oh, is that more alkaline? No, it's not the alkalinity. It's the negative charge on the water. And I'll point to the ORP meter. Remember, it's what we did with this. It's antioxidation. It's not alkalinity. So, you're really there. You really are teaching them this. So the K8 is better antioxidative than the SD501s. Okay. And then here's what I do with closing, guys. Which one's going to work for you? And they'll give you an objection. They'll be like SD501. Okay, great. How do you want to go about paying for that? Let's do the finance. Okay, great. I'll give you an example. One guy where it was kind of like a negotiation, but now he's one of my best clients. He was kind of, it's a lot of money. I don't know if I could do that. I was like, well, you always want to ask one more time. And you always want to agree with the customer in the close. And you always want to go towards the objection in the close. So he was like, that's a lot of money. I have other debt on other, cards. I don't know if I want to do this. And I was like, look, you're going to be buying bottled water anyway. He was buying a lot of bottled water. You're going to spend the money on the water anyway. And we might as well just see if you get approved for the card. So we could check right now and see if you get approved for the card. and then you can get it, and think about it. Like, John, you have the flexibility, and this is what I say when I'm explaining the finance. So you could pay the minimum, which is 44, 46, 54. Um, you could pay, John, $44 a month, 44, then you're having a good month, boom, pay off 500 of it, pay off 500 of it. And you have that full 12, he did Capital One, you have full 12 months to pay that off. So that's the minimum, but that's your equal pay. So, it gives you flexibility. And that's why, we do it that way. It's like, okay, let's apply. But it took a while to do that. And another really good tip about sales and closing, and I don't know about you guys, but I fucking love sales and marketing, and I study it all the time. Hey, which one's going to work for you? And you shut up and you don't say anything. And they'll start looking at each other. I was doing a demo the other day, and halfway through, it was like a really, rich family. Halfway through, the husband, he owns a company, like, really cool. He's like, yep, I like it. I approve. Scotty, I like you. Let's do it. Angela, boom. And he, like, walked away. So you'll get those. You could target those areas. So, you always want to, when you ask them, which one do you want? So which one's going to work for you? That's a really common question. That's what I say, rather. Which one's going to work for you? And they'll either tell you a model, ask you a question, or give you an objection. Okay? And this is where you handle the objection or answer the question, or, K8. So let's go over all three of these. K8, okay, great. How do you want to pay for that? Do you have room on a current credit card? Yeah, okay, boom. Do you want to apply? If they want to apply, I go to my hotspot on my phone, I connect to my iPad, and I pull up the Capital One, Venture One application, or the City Simplicity one. And this is only if they have good credit. And then, again, you never want to leave a house with anything, with a goose egg. So if all else fails, then, if they get denied for the credit, I did a deal a month ago where both the husband and the wife didn't get approved for the credit. And I was like, well, there's one more option. We could do the in-house finance, sold them on the in-house. So, if you want to leave with something. So if they fail credit or don't have credit, show them the in-house. And again, everyone's sold. Not everyone can afford it, even with the credit and whatever. So if they ask you a question, answer the question. And if they have an objection, it's too much money. Listen, I understand. I thought this, everyone, they're expensive. This is an expensive product. This is an investment in your health. Okay? You're spending the money anyway, number one. Number two, it's alkalizing you. It's detoxing you. It's the best thing you can do for your body. You're 70% water. You care about your health. You told me you're taking these vitamins. You told me this is important to you about your health. That's important to you about your health. This is going to help you. It's going to help you. This is the best thing you can ever do. You can write it off. Let's go. That's, you just got to kind of study sales and go in the direction of the objection. It's a lot of money. Hey, I agree with you. I'm totally with you. It is a lot of money. And you know what? Before I bought mine, because I'm not just some salesman guy coming in here, I actually own this and love this and use my machine every day. And I will say that. Of course it's a lot of money. It's an investment in your health. I agree with you. It's a lot of money. And everyone I sit with does tell me that. Pretty much everyone tells me that, even when they buy it. They say it's a lot of money. But you know what? What I've found is that my clients absolutely love Kangen water. They share with their friends and family, and it really makes such a tremendous difference in their health and in their life. So I'm with you, and sign here and here. So just, you always want to agree with the customer. Always agree. Always, 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 always agree. Now that doesn't necessarily mean they're right. Agreeing and being right are two different things. But always agree with them. So we could literally talk for hours about closing, but you really want to try to close it down. Hopefully I've given you some good closing material here. And so then you take out the order and you fill out the order form. And if they apply for the credit card, I always have them fill out the order form where they fill out their name, number, social, everything. They sign it too. The only thing that's missing is the credit card number. And that tells me that they're serious, because you do want to follow up and stay in touch from the time the credit card, they apply for it and from the time when it comes in. Okay. So by leaving with a signed application with their name, number, social, everything, and their signature is super, super important. So make sure you do that too. So even if it's no sale, it's no sale. If it's sale and apply for credit card, make sure you fill all that out. And that way you can say, listen, we're gonna fill everything out, sign everything. That way when the credit card comes in, you can just we'll get on the phone, I'll get the number, and boom, we'll send it right into a Magic. And so again, I feel like that's helped me retain some of those orders too. So that's pretty much what I do, guys. That's the presentation. Even though I say I'm going to ask for referrals, I really don't on the first one anymore, because what I've found is, number one, you want to build your pipeline, which is what this 4-part series has taught you to do through using the internet. And number two, you want to, or at least I do, want to develop a relationship with my clients so that they like me and trust me. And then when I come back and help them install or come back for their monthly cleaning, then I can get the referrals. Now, if someone's anxious to give me referrals and tell them Susie and, their mom and everybody, I'll take the referrals. Absolutely. So I'm not going to not take them, but I'm not going to press for them super hard. So again, that is, that's pretty much it. You want to clean up all the cups, be respectful of people's homes, play with the dog. That's always good. And this is how it's done, my friends. I mean, a lot of people buy these on these. I mean, a lot of people who you meet with buy them, because again, your leads that you get, some you'll never get a hold of through phone or email. You won't. Some will call up, oh, I filled that in by accident, or what the fuck, or this or that, and they'll just say no. Some will just say no on the phone. But pretty much a lot of people that I've met with, over this last 4 months of me doing this, I guess 3 months of me doing the internet lead gen, pretty much everybody wants it. It's just a matter of how can we make it affordable. Like I have people in my pipeline right now who we're in the process of getting them financed or getting it figured out, or whatever. They give me your money. They just need to pay for it already. So that will happen too. You'll close people who you met. You'll close people today who you met with 3 months ago. I've closed people today who originally heard about it a year ago. So it'll happen. Just stick with it. Be persistent. Re-watch this, because I just gave it to you exactly how I deliver it to the client, and it's a winning presentation because people really end up liking you. I know I obviously talked a lot tonight, but in the demo, it really isn't you talking that much, because you're asking a lot of questions, and especially when you're doing the couple demonstrations, it's very interactive, and you're getting them to eat the tomatoes, smell the oil, taste the water. They're listening and then they're listening and seeing you. So it's hitting on all 5 senses. So it's a very, very, very powerful presentation. Make sure that you look people in the eye when you speak to them. I guess kind of goes without saying. And just have fun with it and be agreeable, and you guys are going to kick some ass. And here's one last thing I want to leave you with. I want you to rewatch this a couple times, number one. Number two, I want you to start with your warm market, not your freaking broke friends from the Vima days, whoever was a part of that. But I'm talking about your mom, your dad, your mom and dad's friends, your aunt, uncle, your aunt, uncle's friends, your family friends, extended, anyone who's like a qualified buyer or a homeowner, someone who could buy if they want to, your accountant, your dentist, your chiropractor, whoever you have a personal relationship with. I have a personal relationship with my accountant, and guess what? He bought one. So start with that, because you will fall on your face, and that's with anything. That's with any sales job, any new undertaking that you have. So make sure you start with those people and ask them for referrals, and maybe do a whole, the secret to referrals is just asking. And I have a sheet which I could send, which Adam's going to send to you, like a referral sheet they fill out. So they, start with your warm market, because you can fall on your face with them there, and it's all good, because you could say, hey, I'm new, this and that, boom, and you'll get good at it. Because don't go in unprepared to a lead that you just paid for from the internet. You know what I mean? You gotta show up and show up big, and just deliver this really well. And most importantly, guys, have fun with it. This is so fun. I love fucking doing these demos, because people light up. It really is a paradigm shift. We really change people's lives. People love Kangen water, and guess what? They're gonna love you for introducing this to them and changing their life. You're changing their life. Literally, you change your own life, right? So if this is the attitude, this is how I feel about it, and you guys can tell I'm very excited and passionate about it. And if you bring this with you into a home, into a client, it's going to be, magnetic, and it's just, the vibes, and people are going to vibe and jive with the vibes, and it is going to make a difference for you and your business. So that's it, man. This is the full disclosure on the Scotty PowerPoint webinar. This is how I do it, guys. So you just got it. So I hope this was really helpful. Why don't we open it up for questions for a minute or two?
Scott, that was fantastic. I'm going to read these questions for you here.
Yeah, because I can't see you. I can't see the manager box.
Everybody's just saying that they loved it. Guys, do you have questions? Everyone's just commenting on how good the presentation was.
Yeah, don't you kind of feel like you want to go buy a Kangen machine right now?
Yeah,
yes,
can
yes,
somebody
yes.
sell me one?
Yeah, so what we're gonna do, Adam, you're gonna send them whatever I said that you were gonna send them during this.
Anthony said
I
this
guess.
is the best presentation he's seen.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Thank you. I appreciate that. And this is something that Adam had a hand in creating this too. When we were in Florida. Holy shit! Almost 2 years ago, was it? No.
Something like
I guess a year.
No,
A year ago.
I think it was like 2 years ago, dude.
Wow. Crazy. It might have been.
I think
So yeah, I mean, this Adam had a part in this. Corey Munt had a part in this. A sales trainer had a part in this, and this is just something I've done, every week since. And so, you're gonna go through it, and you're gonna get better and better and better. Make sure you fall on your face and fuck up. That's the only way you get better, and just get into action right away. Now, guys, you had the first lessons in setting it up and doing everything, and now you have everything you need now.
I've got a question from Skylar. Can I ask you?
Please.
Says in regards to applying for credit cards for customers with good credit, how do we do that?
Okay, so when they agree to want to apply for the credit card, now again, I do this on an iPad with one of those like 3-fold stands. So what I'll do is I'll connect to my hotspot on my phone or ask them for Wi-Fi. I'll connect to it, and just how you can on an iPad you can take an internet address and make it like an icon, like add to home screen.
Yeah.
So I have the Capital One and the City Simplicity. If they have really good credit, City Simplicity. But if they have good to like good to excellent, or they're like, it's good, but it's not. If it's good and not great, do the Capital One. If it's great, do the City Simplicity. And then just click in and say, hey, it's just like a regular credit app, and I hand them the iPad.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Beautiful. Anybody else have any questions? You guys have any questions? We're going to wrap it up here. We've been on here about an hour. It's been a long one.
Yeah, I knew it'd be a long one. And the last thing is, guys, you want to make this your own. Like I just gave you the facts you want to say, the important questions to ask, some of the tonality, all that good stuff. But make it your own. Add your own personality into it, your own knowledge that you know about all this stuff into it, and yeah, make it your own for sure.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, Scott, thanks again for being on here and sharing this gold with everybody. Everybody say thank you to Scott, and then we're going to hang up here.
I love you guys.
All right, everybody. We are out of here. Take care, everyone.
All right, see ya.